Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with, I believe this is episode 3 of our Waterfall Ephemera series. In today's video, we're going to be doing a similar waterfall mechanism, but we're going to be putting it on a tag and making the tag into a large pocket. We are also attaching a belly band to hold everything together, not only to hold it together, but again, as I've showed you before, you can glue this piece to your page, and then this can be removed completely to be written on. I did two of these with the waterfall pieces being an image to make them a little bit prettier. There's still writing space on the back, same mechanism. Look at that amazingness. Boom, so beautiful. So I did two with the pattern paper, and then I did one with just the tea stain paper, and I believe I'm doing tea stain paper again. No, maybe I cut pieces. I can't recall. We'll get to it, but those are the two. And these will show you the template so you can get the sizing on it as well. But those are really, really cool. I love this kit. I keep saying that. This is the Pink Monarch Prints kit. If you see anything in my videos that you don't reckon, if you've purchased the kit or you're interested in the kit or you're thinking about it, I am pulling from other Pink Monarch print kits. It's not going to be possible for me to remember every little piece because I printed a bunch of their stuff, and I'm going to keep it just at the ready because they're great. They're great kits to make stuff with. They're just everything goes together. It's beautiful. And so I believe this comes from a different kit if I recall, but you can check them out as well. Right now they have a sale, so they're on their shop. Past subscription kits are on sale right now for $24.99 instead of $34.99, I believe. And so I purchased an extra one that I didn't have because I had unsubscribed for a period of time. So those are those two, and then that's the belly band for that one, and that's the belly band for that one. Okay, and then this is the one I made. This is from this is another one of her. I will link this one because I did use a lot of the papers from it. So I'll link that kit. It's also a Pink Monarch Prints kit, but this is just using the tea stain paper, which the benefit of that is you get the full writing space of front and back. So it's going to depend on what you like. So in this design though, we're only gluing to make our pocket. Oh, I didn't put anything in this pocket. Oh, I'm going to have to do that before I take the photos. There's a pocket here, which this will make more sense when we start constructing, but I only glued it. I put a bead of glue here and at the bottom to close that pocket. And so we've got this bit here. So I'm like, oh, well, let's just put a whale tail tab on there. So that's what I did, and just pulled some from some kits and put that together. I can't remember what kit this is, but again, I used a lot of the paper, so I will link that. The one-offs I won't be able to because I won't remember. I promise I won't remember. I'm preparing to get all that stuff relabeled. So I've got my Fabri-Tac, my white glue, vintage photo archival ink, corner rounder, circle punch in case I find something I need to make a circle out of, a pencil so for some marking, and my scissors. And I'm going to I'm not going to glue my mouse, I'm going to move my mouse. And we're going to get going and see how I did here because there's a lot of stuff here and I haven't looked at it since I prepped it. So this is the template. So that I just gave a rough estimate on the belly band. I did this belly band 2 inches by 10 inches. It wraps around the back. And then that you'll be able to capture a picture of this at the end as always. The tag measures 4 3/4 inches wide by 8 inches tall. That's folded, obviously. So that would be, I'm not going to do the math, it'd be 4 3/4 plus 4 3/4 to get that full dimension. But I just take a journal page and fold it in half, cut off a little bit off the top, cut off a little bit off the side to make that measurement, and then you don't have to think too hard about it. You can see on this one I left a little bit more up here, but I decided I didn't want it to come above that point on my other samples, so I changed that. But totally up to you. We've got our pocket over here. The tricky thing about the pocket is you only want to put a whale tail tab on one of your cards, because otherwise you won't be able to get your belly band. If I put one up here, I'm not going to be able to get my belly band on. So I just put one, whether you put the tab to the top or you put it towards the bottom of your card, is totally up to you. But you just slip your belly band over the top if your tab is down here, and vice versa. So these the waterfall pieces measure 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. This time we did 5 because they're larger, whereas we did 8. I believe we did 8 in the previous video. And they are not set at a 1/4 inch apart. They're set at a 1/2 inch. So when we do our scoring, we're going to be scoring every 1/2 inch for 6 score lines. Okay. And so same mechanism. I'm going to bring other mechanisms to you, I promise, but this just popped out at me and I'm like, I have to do this tag. So that is really it. It pops up like that. You've got to preserve that space. So you would not ever want to glue that down. It's only glued at the bottom, about probably maybe 1.5 inches. But you'll see that as we construct this one. So I'm going to set that aside where I can see it, because we are going to need to access those measurements. So let me just move all of my stuff out of the way, because we're going to need the score tool. I have my credit cards. I took an old gift card and I made corners for tags, and so we'll be using this to make our tag shape. And this is our mechanism. So our mechanism, I don't think I talked about that. My apologies. So as I mentioned in the other video, I just take a piece of paper. I leave the length full because I can always cut it off at the top or bottom if I need to. But if you want to be persnickety and you want the specifics, the total height of this is 4.5. The mechanism is this white piece back here, is 4.5 inches wide by 7 1/8 inches long. So you can see I didn't bring this one down below those points though. So it's totally up to you how you do that. Okay, you're going to have to decide for yourself. And then the journal cards, I did make a note that are 4.5 by 6 3/4. So 6 3/4 inches high by 4.5 inches wide. I don't think I prepped any of that, so I'll have to do that off camera, but basically I just took kit paper and just cut it to size and stuck it in there just as extra journal space. So without further ado, let's get going. So I've got this all paper clipped together and it is holding on like a booger. There we go. So these are pieces potentially for the to decorate the front of it, or the belly band, or whatever. I do have some other pieces over there that I can pull from if I need to. So that's going to be a last step. This is our belly band. And oh yeah, so I do have the tea stain paper, which I thought worked really well with this. It's the same kit as this orange toned kit. So you'll be seeing everything in that kit. So I have 5 tea stain papers that are 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then this piece is going to go over the top. Okay. I've already cut this down to 4 3/4 by 8 inches, but let me show you that just in case you're curious. Yes, so that's 8 inches by 4 3/4. So I wanted to have some things prepared. It is a work night. I got a little bit behind this week, just for a number of reasons. So I'm trying to do a little bit of catch up. This is the Friday video and it is Wednesday evening. So I'm a little bit behind. So let's go ahead and cut our tag shapes first. So I'm just going to bring my scissors over here, and you can decide. So when you cut these, there's no science to it. Just do your cuts at different angles, and then you'll have varying sizes. So this tag size you can see, or that slant is really small, so you'd want that for a small tag. This would be for a very, very big one. This would actually work on this project, but it's going to make that too deep, and I don't want that. And then you've got this one. I just named them with, or put a number on them. I don't think it's that one either. We might I think it's number 1, but let me bring this over and see, because I'm not sure. What did I do? Yes, it is number 1. So we'll be using the same slant. So you just put this up to here. Whoops, not like that, like this. Okay. And just make sure it's straight on both sides. and then just cut it with your scissors. Okay. And then turn it over so you get that exact same shape and slant on the other corner. It took me the longest time to really get this. And when I first started, I was like, how do you do those corners? So that is our tag. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to ink this inside top edge because I didn't like it showing when I started gluing it down. So I'm not going to ink the whole inside because that's not necessary, and I can ink the outside in a minute. So we're just ready to go there. Grab my bone folder. There we go. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is I think we're going to round the corners on these. I really like the rounded corners. So I'm going to use the 10 millimeter. Let's make them big. So let me do that really quick and we'll chat a second. I'm not sure what is next in this series. I do want to show you some other ways to use it. Yeah, I've got a ton of ideas, like a ton of ideas. So I'm just, this one was the one that inspired me the most to do today. And that's how I create. I have to be inspired. I can't do anything by force or obligation. So I create from my heart and I create what suits me at the time. These are squared, so if they were not squared, you'd want to make sure that you were keeping these all going the same direction. But let me show you, they are all exactly the same. But if they were not square, you would want to be careful that you didn't get one going the opposite direction, because then it wouldn't work. So if you'll give me just a second, well, actually, let's go ahead and do our mechanism as well, because then we can ink all of that at the same time. So let's jump around here a little bit. I don't like all the little bits on my desk. Here we go. So here's the score tool. So what I did, if you want to follow what I did, is I took this all the way down to, it looks like an inch from my actual score, the valley of my score tool, and I started there, but that meant I had to hold my paper over here, otherwise it doesn't. It'll slip. So we're going to just go, that's our first score line, and I'm going to move it up 1/2 inch, just like we did with the 1/4 inch. You could make them even bigger if you wanted to. You could make them full page, which we probably will do in this series. Oh, you're already messed up, Cara-Renee. Ugh. Okay, again. I am easily discombobulated, clearly. Okay, so that is 3, partly because I'm talking too much. 4, 5, and 6. So we're following the same exact process as we did before, in terms of we're only going to ink that little bit in the middle just so we can see it. You do have to still crease the whole thing, but I am using, the mechanism is made out of, all the pieces are 65-pound paper. I like stable ephemera, so I like to go big or go home, and so I tend to go with the heavier paper. In fact, when I run out of some of those other weights, I'm just not going to repurchase them, because there's no point, because 65-pound paper and 20-pound paper is usually all I need. Sometimes a 32-pound paper is nice because it's like right in the middle. Okay, so that is that. So we're just going to ink around this edge. I don't have to ink all the way to the top because we will be trimming that down. So we'll just, you don't have to ink the back, just the side that your pieces are going to go on. In case you didn't watch the other one, I want to make sure I don't assume that you know what I'm talking about. But there we go. So that's ready. So I'm going to take a moment. I don't want to bore you with inking, and I'm going to ink the front and back of all of these pieces, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the last one. I wanted to chat with you a second, as I was thinking about the other waterfalls that I did where I used the pattern paper. So I'm going to talk to you a second about how I how I kind of go about deciding what order those go in. I like to have them be different papers because I think it creates a really cool look. So let me show you what I mean. So for instance, on this one that the belly band is already off, because I had 5, I didn't want to have 3 of one and 2 of the other. So I did this one is the same paper as the base. And so I put that one in the middle. So we've got this one, and then this one, and then that one that's the same as the base, and then that green one again, and then this one again. So I just duplicated. I decided I wanted a little bit of a separation there. I added that just on this one, and I think we'll do it on this one as well. I think I cut an extra piece for that. I don't recall, but I have my scrap stuff over there so I can grab. And then I did also separate this piece because I always like to do that separation. So alrighty, so we are ready to go on. So again, same process as before. I do have to turn that. Now you can see that we have probably, I would say, about 1/8 of an inch. Well, yeah, probably 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, on each side of that. So you do want to try to keep it as even as possible. So we're going to start not there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure you have 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That matches the number of elements that you have here. So I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to go almost to that edge and just fill that all in. I like to use the white glue in this case because I do like that quick adhesion. So, but you do what you're most comfortable with. And I'm going to turn this again because I need to make sure I get this on straight. So I'm going to place it down and it's going to be right on that line. And then I'm going to I spy this side to side because I got one of them crooked. It's easy to do. And I'm just going to fudge that until I feel like it's, oh, we're stuck now. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. There we go. Make sure that we're good. Again, perfection is not at play in the studio, so if it goes south, don't fret about it. It's your own work of art, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So there we go. Okay. And then I like to flip these. This is that tea stain paper, so I like to kind of flip the design around because there's different spots and stuff on it that I really like that I can kind of play around with. So again, just getting that up in there, making sure that the edges are as even as possible. Some of my pieces, I think, in another one were a little crooked, so they were a little abnormal, but that's okay. So this is the prep for this project was took the longest time. I've been working on this for 1.5 days because I do so many samples and then I prep for the video. So I had to I printed a lot of paper. I used a lot of paper to make this happen. So, but again, this is something you could make with scraps. You could have some kind of, the way you would use scraps in a project like this is just have a core color. Like if your color is peach, then bring in a lot of those neutral tones and peachy tones, and you could mix and match your paper totally. So you could definitely use your scraps. I wouldn't advise using different weights of paper in terms of like your mechanism. Well, the mechanism is fine, but your waterfall pieces, because you wouldn't want necessarily, I wouldn't want personally to have varying weights of paper, but as I mentioned, I'm not a fan of 20 pounds. Oh, what? I don't have enough. Did I get 2 in one place? Holy moly, I'm gonna have to find another one. I don't have all of them here for some reason. Oh no, I made that one colored. That's why. First I thought I was going to cover one of these pieces, but why have a double layer, I think is what I probably decided. So this one will go on like this, and then it's tea stained on the back. So last one. How are we looking here, Renee? Oh goodness. It's okay. It's okay. I filled my white glue, so it does that bubble up thing all the time, like a white booger. Gross. We had another kid went home with a fever today. It's like it's never ending. I'm feeling okay at the moment. Been struggling with a cough, but it's not moving into my chest, which is good because I have struggled in the past with asthma, but it's not a huge problem these days. So there is our mechanism. So I know, oh, did I get that? Oh, I got that way off. Let me just pull that up a little bit. Okay, well, let me show you in case you're newly watching. So you're gonna kind of massage this. Now you don't want to pull this off. So you want to grab this behind like this and just give that a crease. Do that with each of your flaps, making sure that that mechanism is moving as you do that. Okay. It doesn't need a super hard press, just a soft fold there, just to train it. There you go. So I know that I want to take a little bit off of the top for sure. So I'm going to take off probably, I'm probably going to leave about 1/4 of an inch. This is where you kind of see if you got super crooked. That is very straight. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so there we go. And then the next thing you want to do is flip this whole thing, because now we need to know how much glue space we have, which is going to make more sense in a minute. So flip this whole thing over and then go like this. Okay, so let me show you that again. So this is the direction it's going to go. Take the bottom flap, flip it all the way over until it's like this. Okay, and then you're looking at the back side with this top piece here. I do go a little bit below that mark or that piece because I don't want to touch glue on there. Just make a couple pencil marks, then go ahead and open her back up again. And let's see how we're doing here. So this I might have to round those corners and bring her up a little bit so I get a little bit more room here. So see how my corners are sticking up above that tag, and I'm coming up above those points, which I said I wasn't going to do, but I think we're going to need, well, maybe about that much. How about that much? Okay, so I'm just going to hold that there just so I can see where I want my where I want to cut this off. So we've actually got quite a bit of room here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pencil mark there. Hope this is making some sense. Sometimes I don't make sense. And I'm going to just chop that off right there. Okay. And there we go. So I wonder if we can round this edge. I think I had trouble when I tried to do this before and I ended up having to cut it off. So I don't think I can do the full one. Can I? Let's try it. Oh, I can. Yes. Okay, that will work. That will work. Just give that a good inkin. Oh, that looks kind of nice. That might go really well there. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do the same. I'm going to get that back over, make sure we're okay. Yeah, and then we can round these bottom ones. I do like to keep my rounding the same on all the pieces in a particular project. So each sample that I do, I make sure that I'm using the same corner rounder size, but that's not critical. The reason why I mentioned I like this is there's like all this writing space. Look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces to write on. Just like that. And as I mentioned, I think in another video, this could go in a pocket just as it is. You can't do anything to the back though, okay? Because your mechanism will not work. So that's the critical thing to remember. So let me do a quick inking of this. And I wanted to talk to you a minute about my Sunday's Art of Truth, you guys. I don't know if you guys all watched it, but oh my goodness, I have gotten so many messages and comments on that video. And it's touching to me because I want to be the light, as I mentioned in the blog and in the video. I want to be the light. I want to be a light to people, and to hear people say that that is how they experience me just brings me to tears, because it is as I mentioned in the blog, it is a fulfillment of a promise that everything that I went through and all of my pain would be used to help other people. So thank you guys. I know that it takes vulnerability to share, and it takes time to write, and it takes time to comment and all of those things. And so I really appreciate it. And I have not gotten to the back to the messages, but I will. I just needed to get this done tonight, and then I'll have more time. So now on this, you can decide which side you want to have your pocket open. Now I want mine on the left side because I like this side of the tag better for my element. So I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm just going to make a bead of glue just roughly from that point all the way over. And it's rough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then along the bottom. I don't bother with this side because it's not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to come and hijack it. Okay. Now, after we put a whale tail tab on here, you could close this top bit up. It doesn't do anything, so you could totally do that, but there we go. So I just have to, because this is a Cara-Renee thing, I will make a mistake. So because I didn't prepare any cards, I'm going to put a piece of a sticky note in here so that I recall that this is where my pocket is. Because otherwise I'll put my tabs on the wrong side and I'll be a mess. It'll be a mess. Oh, that's upside down now. Or is it? I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. Maps are not my thing. Okay, so there we go. Now, I cut this piece to do the separating here. I made that very small, didn't I? Let me see if I've got something else over here. I've got another piece of that I feel would be better, like this piece. I think I do want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up the top. I don't want to cover all that beautiful stuff, so I'm just going to kind of estimate how wide I would want that to be. I really like that though, but I'm not going to be able to capture it, so you gotta deal with disappointment. And I'm going to bring the trimmer over and just trim that off. Hopefully I have a straight edge here that I can go from. We'll capture a little bit of that. Okay. Because again, I love the separating. I just love to make these papers really pop out by giving them some dimension. So I don't want to bring that trimmer back over. Just call me fumble fingers. So I'm going to try to cut this by hand by making a mark on both edges, and then you get a better chance of being straight-ish. Kissing that corner, and then let's ink that up. I'm only doing one on camera today because it's a little bit of a, I mean, even though I've done it over and over, it still takes a little bit of time. So I'm trying to only do one on video just to try to keep the videos a little bit shorter if I can. So which do I want to be? Oh, this writing's going this way. So let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac. Again, just buys you time to move it. Such a narrow piece though. Let me just finagle this a bit. There we go. And we're going to just put that on. I'm going to kind of bring this to the side here, and I'm going to use my grid. I've been using it a lot lately because it's really, really helpful to find the center of anything you want to find the center of. So then I can just place that in between there, and I know I'm about, am I though? Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So much of that you're not going to see, but that's okay. Does add bulk to your projects. If you wanted to do some of these elements with a thinner paper, you could do that. And then let's go ahead and put this on. I am loving that. I don't like that that's inked though. Oh, that bothers me. So we're going to just ink all across it now that we've got a mark there, and just call it good. So that's going to go on there. And we have a little bit. I'm almost inclined to cut that off. I'm going to cut that off. I don't like it. Just be careful you don't cut your element, okay? So I don't like it in this case, so probably just because it's the tea stain paper and it's kind of boring. So I'm just cutting that off at the top, and that buys us a little bit more room. I actually think that looks better personally. Okay, so now our glue line, let me make a line just so you can see better on camera. We made a mark here and here, so our glue has to stay below that line, okay? The only thing that's getting attached is this section. If you do more than that, your mechanism is not going to work, okay? So then just put your glue on again. I like to use the Fabri-Tac because I get a chance to adjust the placement. There we go. And then just kind of, I mean, we kind of I spied it. I'm going to go pretty low down here because I know that we're pretty close to the bottom. So I'm going to just push that down there, and I'm going to kind of pick this up and see if I can shift it over a little bit. It's kind of hard because the only thing attached is down here, but I don't want to really give it a lot of pressure and have it set. I think that looks pretty good. Then I like to just get my hand in here and rub that out, get that glue to stick, and then you'll be able to see your mechanism is working. Oh, I love Waterfall Ephemera. So amazing. Okay. So we are going to, we're going to put something on here. So I had this, which I thought would be fun, to just use that and just not use that as a pocket. But I also had this postcard, so I thought I would problem solve that with you guys, but I'm thinking this is just a little bit big and that color doesn't really go, so I think we're going to go for this. So I need to bring the cutter back over and trim off that pocket piece. So I love using ephemera how I want to use it. You don't have to use it how it's intended. And I'm also going to even that up and try to make the same amount on the top and the bottom if I can. I'm not measuring, just guessing. It doesn't have to be exact. And that's really cool. I like that. And I think I was going to use this is what I was going to do here. And have that go like that. And I love those flowers showing with that little bit of black. So yeah, let's do that. I'm going to bring that over because I really want to see some of that. And I'm going to make a pencil mark. I'm going to do the cheating method here because I do not want to keep bringing the trimmer over. Just make a mark. This will help you make it straight. Just, you have to be able to see them. So hopefully I got that right. Boom. And, uh-oh. What did I just do? That was one side. Oh, it's on the black flowers. That's why I couldn't see it. There we go. Again, perfection is not at play. Do not fret about it. I just go with it. I used to be a perfectionist. Like I've said this many times. If a project like this was not perfect, I would throw it in the trash. So there's hope for those of you who struggle with having things be perfect. It is possible to not continue in that vein. So, oh, I love that. We're going to put that on. I'm just going to use the white glue. It's a small piece. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm aiming for the center. Again, I'm not measuring. Okay. But I love how that paper separates everything. Even though we lost all of that, like that's the only piece we see, which I wasted paper doing that, but it's okay because that's glued down. You can't see it. Now, you could see it if you peeked in here, right? So I guess that's a benefit. It's pretty. Oh, I love that. I love that. Let's round those corners with the 10mm rounder. Probably won't use everything I pulled out here, but I wanted to kind of show you how I think through some of those elements, trying to come to the table with a little bit of an idea, but not really fully decided. So there we go. I don't know what I want to put in here though. I don't want to put a word there because I think that's weird. So I wonder if we could put like the number 2. That's too big. That's too big. We could cut that one down though. I think that looks weird though. I don't know what I'll put in here. I might have to think on that. Unless I've got, let me see if I've got a butterfly or something. This, I believe this is the ephemera. Maybe not. This is a different kit. I think this is a different kit, but let me just peek a second here and see if there's something that would fit. I need a smallish, oh, there's a smallish butterfly right there. Boom. And that's why I love her kits. I seriously love them because they're so versatile. So I'm going to fussy cut this really quick, and it's going to go in the middle of that. I've mentioned this before. The only thing I don't like about Pink Monarch prints is the way that they do their the border, because I just feel like it's thick, and so I don't follow it. I just go a little bit closer to the image. So let me do that really quick. I also cut off the tentacles because I'm not messing around with that business. I don't worry about perfection with the pussy cutting either. I'm just like, I'm going to ink it up anyway. And if you wanted the antennae, you could always just draw them on, which we might do, just so I can show you. But I'm loving this combination. I love that black peeking out, even though it's not very much. It's enough for me, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down as well. And as I mentioned, I'll make some cards and put them, they'll be in the photos. They're just simple cards, because nothing in the kit really, unless I just pull a full journal page, nothing is big enough for these pockets because it's pretty tall. It's, what did I say? 6 3/4 inches tall, so that's kind of hard to find in just ephemera. So I love that. I love that black peeking through. Okay, and I think we're going to need something under this butterfly, so I'm going to bring over my little cup. I think I'm going to use the fluffy gauze that I coffee dyed, which I need to do some jelly printing. I have got jelly printing on my mind, so I might come and do that. Maybe we'll do that for our Saturday, unscripted Saturday. That might be fun. Get messy on a Saturday. Well, I don't record it on Saturday. It'll just be up on the channel on Saturday. I don't do lives. I don't do any of that. I've never tried it, and I really don't have a desire to do it, to be honest. So I'm going to see, well, I better put this down with some glue, Fabri-Tac. Sometimes if your material isn't too thick, you can get away with using your image or element and having that hold your glue. I got tons of glue there. Oh my gosh. What the what? Struggle is real. Just dab it up, guys. Not a big deal. That was a lot of glue. Let's put this sweet little butterfly on top of that, and we'll find a word for this one. We can do that on camera. I think they're right behind me. Oh, I love that. That was perfect. Thank you for letting me look for that. Giving me that moment. That is so pretty. Oh, we still have to do our belly band. What am I talking about? I'm just reaching for the words. I don't know if I'm going to find anything that's fitting here, but Dare to Dream. I like that black. I think I want to go with that because I like that black element, and this has got that same feel to it. Kind of a layered border. So let me do this really quick, and we'll do our belly band. I might have to decorate the belly band off camera. We'll see. I'm going to look at the time here. We're 41 minutes without cutting anything out, so I don't want to go much longer. So I'll probably decorate the belly band off camera, which will be similar. So like this one, I just put a simple circle image on there, and that was enough. So again, you'll be able to see that in the video, in the photos at the end, but I will show you how to do the belly band in case you're new in these here parts. Oh, I think it's good right there. Let's just do that. Now, we're decorating the top piece, so that's going to create a little bit of bulk when you try to write in it, but you've got all the rest of the writing space, so I think it's worth the sacrifice. I love that. Dare to dream. So what I mean is when you turn this over and you write on it, you're going to feel that stuff. It's not terrible, but you're going to feel it. Okay, so let's do our belly band. It's already cut. I think this is really thick. Maybe I hadn't cut it down yet. But it can kind of go, it's going to cover up our word, which is not what I necessarily wanted to do. But it is what it is now. Did I put that on with Fabri-Tac? If I did, I can take it off. Oh, I better not. I don't remember what I grabbed. If I grabbed the white, I did grab Fabri-Tac, but that's risky. So let me just reattach the arm there. It's not a big deal because when you take it out, you can enjoy the full look of this without the belly band on it. So let's get this going in the right direction. I feel like it's too thick though, so I'm going to trim it down. Not sure what I was thinking. For some reason, my keyboard is now on top of my cutter. I'm not sure how that happened. Okay, so I want those flowers because I liked that element. So I'm going to cut this down to 1 3/4 inches. You could make your belly band as thick as you want, or as wide rather as you'd like. Oh, those aren't even going to probably show because they're on the end of the strip. Silly me. Silly me. This will still have the same effect. You could go like this. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So that means this side's just going to be shorter. It doesn't matter. It's just going to, it's going to attach. So I just turn that over, give that a soft press, and then make it straight. Okay, like that. Okay, and then bring it back over and go like that. And then you want to leave extra room for those cards. So I'm gonna let me make a mark so you guys can see how far I'm going out in case you're brand new to this kind of thing. So I'm going to go out just about 1/16 of an inch, make a pencil mark so I know where I want that to be folded. In fact, maybe we'll score it just so I can make sure I get it on that line for the video purposes. So what did I do? So that's where it's going to fold. Oops, down here, Cara-Renee. I got one of those weird machines that you could score from the bottom and cut from the top. Okay, there we go. Just score it there. I just want you to see that distance so that when I fold this, we can cut some off. It's a little bit long, so what am I thinking? Well, you'll see it when I put it on. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. I'm going to cut some of that off. I better be careful not to clip that. Okay, let me ink this up really quick and then we'll glue that down and we'll slap this baby on. I'll probably put something on here on the front. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what at this point. I should have put that up there and that would have solved that problem, but sometimes I just slap things down before I think, which is not a big deal. It's part of the creative process and there's no right or wrong. I guess if I could say one thing, it would be that. There's no right or wrong, and don't let anybody judge you. Don't let anybody judge the way that you craft or the way that you do anything. You're you, and you are perfect the way you are, and you are unique. Just as I am unique. Or weird, as some might say. So we're just going to close that baby up. Oh, we went a little crazy with the glue there. You do want to make sure that you've got plenty of room for your stuff so that when this goes on, now, again, as I mentioned before, since I've got so much going on up here, I'll probably put my tab down here for the card that I put in. I'll put 2 cards in the pocket, but only one will have a tab. So you want this to slide on easily. Oh no, what did I do? That is not sliding on easily, is it? What did you do? Oh my my heavens. That's not good. Okay, that's not good. That's too tight. So I will have to remake that belly band. That is, I don't know what I did. Maybe I'm just struggling. I mean, it's not terrible, and things do loosen up as you work with them. So see how that went on, and it could go low like that. But I think I want it to capture that flap, because otherwise it could get a little bit, oh, that's part of the problem. Oh my heavens. Just take that, move it up, and then just scooch that up a little bit more. So this will get looser, so if you don't want it, you don't have to stress about it. But I like it. I'm not going to fix it. And I like that we've got those black flowers, because we've got this theme going on where we've got dark in the butterfly, a little dark down here, and it ties everything together. That's just my artistic brain. So that is our project for today. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions. If I leave out any supply, you can just leave it in the comments, and I'll find out. There's a lot of work involved in linking everything. I do try to do my best, but sometimes I do miss things. So just let me know, and I'd be happy to figure it out for you. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.